A lot of families believe there are only two choices when it comes to after high school. Either go away to a four-year university or fall behind. And one of the biggest mistakes parents can think is that those are the only two choices. There are dozens of ways for kids to gain skills, experience, and direction in life before taking on debt. It's also important to remember that this is a new beginning. This is an exciting time. And after graduation and the graduation parties, take a little bit of time to decompress, but then it's time to get down to business. It's time to start planning and getting organized and do some research, because most teenagers don't know about all of the careers out there. Most of them are familiar with doctor, lawyer, accountant, and typical everyday jobs. So now's the time to look at the thousands of jobs out there and start isolating what it is they might want to do. Because to tell you the truth, staying at home first allows them to discover these things without taking on the debt. So once they isolate what areas they are interested in, the next step would be to get educated on that, whether it's through community college, a state license, or a certification, or go find an entry-level job in that field. This avenue allows them to explore job choices too without a huge life commitment. If they're spending $25,000 a year and change their mind, that feels like an awfully big oopsie. If they stay at home and they try things out, or they go down a path of education and it doesn't work out and it costs a whole lot less to attain that, it's easier to mitigate, take a back step, and then try their new direction. There are a lot of real-world paths that young adults can take, and I'm going to give you some examples. Many people don't realize how amazing certifications can be to put on a resume. They can jumpstart a career without a four-year degree. Google career certifications, AI, TEFL certifications, that's so that you can teach English here at home or abroad, Salesforce certification, computer IT certifications, you can stack those, project manager certifications, digital marketing certifications. You can piggyback these on top of an associate's degree or independently and create a really lucrative life. Another severely underutilized channel of professional growth is mentorships. And the great thing is the professionals in your community love the idea of helping a young person out, especially if they're testing out to see if this is the career for them. So knock on some doors, pick up the phone, have your kids pound some pavement in an area that they're interested in, and talk to these professionals and say, hey, I'll work for free for 10 hours a week. I can take a side hustle for you and you pay me a small amount of money just so I can get to know this career. The best way to learn can be to start out at an entry-level position. That could be a medical office, at a hospital, real estate office, construction office, anything that your kid has a passion for that they just really want to try out before they give a life commitment. They can go and get an entry-level job. One of my favorite things to talk about is entrepreneurship. That is near and dear to my heart. But it's not just about starting a business from scratch, although that's a very viable opportunity. You could buy window washing equipment and have a business within a week. You could buy a dump truck and be a junk remover. You could go into tech. You could go into marketing. There's all sorts of different ways to start a job. But one thing a lot of people are not talking about is the silver tsunami. That is a code name for all of the baby boomers with lucrative businesses that are getting ready to retire with nothing to do with their business. They want to sell their business and they haven't even made any plans yet. There's an entire world websites and podcasts devoted to solving this problem, because when they retire, all of these jobs are going to be missing, and small business is a big part of the economy. So if your kid has a passion and they find local community or business leaders that are getting ready to retire, they could have a plan where they purchase that job or purchase that business. So that is something that can't be overlooked. Skilled trades get mentioned a lot when it comes to career opportunities, and with good reason. There's a shortage and you can make great money. But if your kid instantly rejects those, have them dig a little bit deeper. They might be able to specialize either welding or electrical, plumbing, you name it, into something very particular for them. So they can take that skill and match it with another passion that they have, and maybe come up with something amazing in particular for them that they can make a great living and be happy. Another way to jumpstart the creativity when looking for jobs is to go on your state website and look at all the different state licenses. There are so many with a very minimal barrier to entry that they could have a job or career in a short amount of time just from getting a state license. Okay, there's too many to list here, but let's just say your kid is like, I want to go to college. That's it. They know exactly what they want to do, and that's awesome. But don't let them go without taking a look at this. You can find lists of corporations that will help pay for their college. Starbucks, Taco Bell, Amazon, UPS. There's a huge list. If they work for those companies while they're going to school, they can get their education paid for. At the very least, that's worth a look. So there's a lot of families that are like, well, I want my kid to have that college experience so they can grow up a little bit and have some fun and just learn how to be around other young adults and network. And that's all very reasonable to want. But what I can tell you, what our family has done, and it's been a perfect fill-in, is that we send them on adventures. So they hit the pause button on their education temporarily, and then they go find seasonal work. And there are endless opportunities for this. My two oldest have done the Disney College program. My son is getting ready to go and work at Yellowstone National Park this summer. And there are loads of different websites and opportunities to highlight these adventures, these cool jobs where they can network, have fun, and have life-changing experiences far beyond the college campus. Something else that's very vital to the success of a young person is to set aside time with mom and dad to talk about saving and investing. If they're staying at home, that's an opportunity that they probably won't be able to experience any other time in their life as far as the ability to save. And so conversations need to be had about starting a Roth IRA, investment accounts, and a percentage of their income every month that needs to go into the bank. I think that's vital. And at the end of the time of them living at home, they will have a nest egg, or they'll have that money set aside. They can buy that business and they'll start off life on the right foot. Young adults are not falling behind when they take the time to build skills and create options for themselves. Don't make the mistake of thinking the only option for your child is going away to a four-year university. There are so many ways to get your kid prepared for real life that don't come with an insane amount of debt. We created the post-high school plan on our website. I encourage you to take a look at it. We cover all of this and so much more on planning, finance, and just having great conversations with your kid so that you're all on the same page and they can get a great start to life.